The Senate will come to order. The senators will please take their seats. Those persons not entitled to the privileges of the floor will kindly retire to the gallery. The senators will stand and be led in prayer by the Reverend Andy Roars, St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, Norfolk. Reverend Roars, thank you.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for bringing us to this new day. We thank you for this country and for this Commonwealth of Virginia. We remember all of those who have come before us and who have sacrificed so that we may enjoy our liberty. Be present with this Senate as it convenes a new legislative session. Empower these leaders to serve the people they represent, rightly using the power that has been entrusted to them. Give them strength, patience, and compassion as they face the challenges ahead. Grant them open minds and hearts to work together, seeking that which unites all of us as your beloved children. Guide these senators to discern your will and to govern and enact laws that promote freedom, justice, equality, and well-being for all Virginians. May this Commonwealth be a beacon of peace and goodwill to our nation and to our world. Amen.
Amen. The clerk will please call a roll. All those present will vote aye. The clerk will close the roll.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The Senate is operating under the rules of the Senate adopted at the commencement of the 2016 session. The next order of business is the election of the pages of the Senate for the 2018 session. The pages will please enter. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It is my privilege to place in nomination for pages of the Senate of the Commonwealth of Virginia the following names, and I move that the nominations be agreed to. From the 1st District, Stephen Carrington Gross from Newport News. The 6th District, Ava Rose Libby from Norfolk. From the 8th District, Grace Helen Ford of Virginia Beach. From the 10th District, Andrew Quentin Benedetti of Richmond. Some recognition of the name, only thing I can anticipate. From the 11th District, Zoe Serene Gonzalez of North Chesterfield. From the 12th District, Colin Andrew Hudson of Glen Allen, Virginia. From the 17th District, Trent Alexander Seitz of Fredericksburg. From the 18th District, Scarlett Summer Rainey of Freeman. From the 19th District, Lily Nicole Rush of Christiansburg. From the 22nd District, James Thaddeus Martin of Goochland. From the 25th District, Nicole Rebecca Bilchick of Charlottesville, Virginia. From the 26th District, Emma Grace Chupp of Broadway. From the 29th District, James Tyler Kirkland of Manassas Park. From the 30th District, Josephine Marie Abriels of Alexandria. From the 31st District, Sean Bender Prouty of Arlington. From the 34th District, Delaney Morgan Adams of Fairfax. From the 36th District, Carolyn May Henry of Alexandria. From the 39th District, Jaden Tyler Alley of Lake Ridge. From the 40th District, Todd Edward Pillion II of downtown Abington.
Thank you, Senator Norman. The senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Mr. President, I second the nominations of the pages.
Thank you, Senator. The senior senator from Fairfax, Senator Saslaw. Thank you, Senator. Without objection, the nominations for pages of the Senate are closed. All in favor of the nominees named for pages will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll. Ayes 40, no 0. Those nominated are declared duly elected pages of the Senate of the 2018 session. The chair requests announcements of page appointments. The chair recognizes the senator from Bedford, Senator Newman.
Mr. President, I move into nomination and request that Mackenzie Michelle Bates of Bedford be a page of the Senate.
Thank you, Senator. The senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to announce the appointment of Page Grant Crowther Biddlecombe of Reedville as a page of the Senate.
Thank you, Senator. The senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to announce the appointment of Langley Douglas Amory of downtown Poquoson.
Thank you, Senator. The senator, senior senator from Fairfax, Senator Saslaw. Thank you, Senator. And I wish to announce the appointment of Ethan Callan Lane of Ashland as a page of the Senate. Welcome. The chair recognizes the chair of the Senate Rules Committee, Senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal, for the purpose of announcing the appointment of Senate pages.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the clerk has advised me that the following pages have been appointed pursuant to the rules of the Senate. Mr. President, I will now perform my very stellar job of enunciating the names.
You have the floor, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Shawana Acito of Ashburn. George Williams Bishop V of Richmond. Mallory Rachel Chalker of Moseley. Caroline Gwen Coleman of Arlington. Anika Shakay Damaraju of Broadlands. Quentin Michael Hogland of Yorktown. Mackenzie Grace Marker of Mechanicsville. Anne Marie Nealian of Alexandria. Ella Reese Smith of Powhatan. Dylan Todd Sproul of Mechanicsville. Ian Gordon Stolley of Virginia Beach.
The last one.
For those of y'all who do not know, the last Stolley, not the last page. Arya Abhijit Walvakar of Broadlands, and Peter William Zhang of Glen Allen.
Thank you, Senator. And to all of the pages, welcome. We had a record number of applications to what we believe is the best page program in the world, and that's due to the staff of the Senate here. And so we wish you well. We hope you have a great experience, and look forward to working with you over the next 60 days. So thank you. The Senate will stand at ease as the pages take their places. The Senate will come to order. The senator from Hanover, Senator McDougall, is recognized for the purpose of taking up a resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that the rules of the Senate be suspended, the Committee on Rules be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the reading of the titles be waived, and reading of the title and engrossment be waived, and Senate Resolution number 7 be taken up for immediate consideration.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the rules be suspended, the Committee on Rules be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title and the engrossment be waived, and Senate Resolution 7 be taken up for immediate consideration? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, noes 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. The clerk will please report the resolution.
Senate Resolution number 7, 2018 Operating Resolution.
Senator from Hanover, Senator McDougall.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move the resolution be agreed to, and speaking briefly to the resolution.
Thank you, Senator. You had the floor.
Mr. President, members of the Senate, this is the resolution that we always pass. It is a Senate resolution authorizing the expenditures of items by the clerk's office and of per diems.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? All in favor of agreeing to the resolution will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The resolution is agreed to. The senator from James City County, Senator Norman, will advise the House of Delegates that the Senate is duly organized and ready to proceed to business. Thank you, Senator. Yes, I knew it would be. Oh, well. The time has come to welcome visitors to the gallery and take up other matters for the morning hour. The Senator from Enrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for the purposes of an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
I would like everybody in the Senate to welcome one of the Board of Supervisors in my district, beautiful Hanover, Wayne Hazard, who is here visiting with his granddaughter, Selah Miller. And Selah and I have a special connection because her mom's a midwife. And so just wanted to welcome them, our first visitors of the year. Welcome.
Thank you, Senator. Supervisor Wayne Hazard and your daughter, Selah, if you would please rise. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and welcome to the gallery of the Senate. Hope you enjoy your visit today in Mr. Jefferson's capital. I would ask the members of the Senate to please join me in offering Mr. Wayne Hazard and his granddaughter, Selah, the warm welcome of the Senate. The Senator from Portsmouth, Senator Lucas. Good, okay. Senator from Prince William County, Senator McPike.
Mr. President, I rise for the purpose of an introduction.
The Senator has the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, today we have members of the Virginia School Counselors Association with us in the gallery. Founded in 1962, the association's mission is to actively promote excellence in the profession of school counseling and to provide member support through professional development, advocacy, leadership, accountability, and collaboration. The Virginia School Counselors Association is currently led by President Mary Robinson and President-elect Liz Parker. I'm personally grateful for the many school counselors across the Commonwealth that do incredible work on behalf of our children, whether it's career counseling, college counseling, or helping students in crisis. School counselors address so many issues that many of us know in our community, whether it be trauma, abuse, or mental health issues. We have so much of our school counselors, and they do an excellent job. And with that, Mr. President, I ask you to provide the warm welcome.
Thank you, Senator. Would members from the Virginia School Counselors please rise? What a nice group we have. Thank you so much for being here today. And as Senator McPike said, thank you for all the great work that you do in our schools and helping our children find the way. So we appreciate that and welcome you here today. I would ask the members of the Senate to please join me in offering the Virginia School Counselors the warm welcome of the Senate. The Senator from Lynchburg, Senator Peake.
Thank you, Mr. President. My members have left to go see the action in the House chamber. I don't know why they think this is not as exciting as it could be. So should they return, I will notify Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator, for that. The Senator from Accomack, Senator Lewis.
Mr. President, rise for 2 introductions.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, members of the Senate, with us today is Reverend Andy Roars, who gave us the wonderful prayer to open our session this morning. Reverend Roars is with St. Andrew's Episcopal Church in Norfolk. She joined the church in the summer of 2013. Reverend Roars has a BA from Duke and a master's in divinity from Yale Divinity School. One of her passions is building community, and she is excited to work with and coordinate ministries for parishioners of all ages at St. Andrew's. She is accompanied in the gallery by her husband, Reverend John Roars, rector of St. Andrew's, who became rector in 2009. Reverend Roars, but they both live in West Ghent and have 3 children who are with them today, a daughter, Ann, and twin boys, Tom and Will. I hope we'll give them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Thank you, Senator. Would Reverend Roars and your husband, Reverend Roars, and your beautiful children, Anna, Tom, and Will, please rise? Thank you all so much for being with us today, and thank you, Reverend Roars, for getting us off to a good start. And I know you all have had a lot of snow in Norfolk, so we appreciate you digging your way out and joining us today. I would ask the members of the Senate to please join me in offering Reverend Roars and her beautiful family the warm welcome of the Senate. The senator from Accomack, Senator Lewis.
Mr. President, members of the body, we have visiting with us in the gallery today in one capacity, who will be visiting with us in a completely different capacity on Monday evening, the First Lady-elect, if there is such a title. I can think of no other person who could follow in the footsteps of our current wonderful First Lady, Dorothy McAuliffe, than Pam Northam. And I know we're all very proud. Certainly those of us from the Eastern Shore are very proud to have Pam, who's an adoptive daughter of the Eastern Shore, who will be serving as this Commonwealth's First Lady. So I would hope, and accompanied by, we think, Clark Mercer and David Carey. I don't see Clark up there, but they were there. So I would hope that we would all give them give the First Lady-elect the warm welcome of the Senate.
Thank you, Senator. Pam and David, if you would please rise. Thank you for being with us today. And I don't know if they told you, Pam, but we're supposed to move to Richmond here in a couple of days. So anyway, I hope you have a chance to pack the bags up. So anyway, but thanks, and we look forward to a great next 4 years. And David, thank you. As most of you may know, David is Pam's assistant, and will be working on a lot of projects. Certainly, early childhood education, I think, is at the top of the list right now. So we look forward to you all doing good things for the Commonwealth. I'd ask the members of the Senate to please join me in offering a warm round of applause to my wife and David Carey. The senator from Fairfax City, Senator Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, I want to rise to introduce a gentleman, a constituent, and a friend, and someone you'll be hearing a lot more about. I consulted with my expert about how much time and attention I should lavish on this introduction, and he said not much, and he knows what he's talking about. So I want to begin by introducing Mr. Justin Fairfax, who will begin presiding over this body next week.
Thank you, Senator Peterson. Justin, please rise. It's a pleasure to have you here, and it's also a pleasure to call you a friend to myself, my family, and I know you have a wonderful family that is very proud of you, and we've been very close, your family and my family. And I was just noticing they actually have a new gavel for you. It's a little bit lighter than the one I use, so I think you'll be able to handle it. But what a wonderful experience you're going to have for the next 4 years. It's a tremendous privilege and an honor, and you have 40 great senators from across the Commonwealth, and I know you'll enjoy working with them, and I know you'll do a wonderful job. I'd ask the members of the Senate to please join me in offering our friend Justin Fairfax a warm welcome to the Senate. Senator from Fairfax City.
Mr. President, further introduction, if I might.
Sir, the senator has the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, we also have with us Ed Reed, who will be serving this session as the Chief of Staff for the Lieutenant Governor-elect. Just a word about Mr. Reed. After a storied all-pro career with the... Oh, wrong Ed Reed, sorry. After serving as the legislative liaison for Senator Rosalind Dance, he was a key member of the Senate basketball team and has used that feat to catapult him to his current status. And so I ask that we recognize him as the future Chief of Staff for Lieutenant Governor to be Fairfax.
Ed, if you would please rise. Welcome back. I know you took a short vacation and went to the South, but we're glad you're back in Richmond, and look forward to doing some good work in the next 4 years. And I know Justin is happy to have you with us, and I know, Larry, it's good to see you in the gallery as well. And thank you for joining us today. I'd ask the members of the Senate to please join me in offering Mr. Ed Reed the warm welcome of the Senate. The senior senator from Fairfax, Senator Saslaw.
Mr. President and members of the Senate, I'd like to also call your attention to a very special person in the gallery and I think a former educator. The wife of Senator Hanger, Sharon, is up there, and I would ask that you give her a warm welcome of the Senate.
I will. Thank you, Senator. Would Ms. Sharon Hanger please rise? It's always good to see you. Actually, I see you every now and then in our Norfolk neighborhood, so please don't be a stranger and come back and visit us often. And also come visit here and make sure that the good Senator Hanger stays in line. So it's always good seeing you. Please, I would ask the members of the Senate to please join me in offering Ms. Sharon Hanger the warm welcome of the Senate. The Senate will stand at ease. And it will come to order. The senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are obviously going to come out of the gates on the first day with some degree of deliberateness. I have conferred with the leadership of the House of Delegates who have just elected the Honorable Kirkland Cox as the Speaker of the House of Delegates. And while they have managed to come to an accord on some issues, they are taking what may be an extended recess. They are having ongoing discussions about a rewrite of some of the rules of the House of Delegates. So I would ask that you stay in the vicinity, but it may be a little while before we hear back from them, Mr. President.
Thank you for that update. The Senate will stand at ease. The Senate will come to order. Sergeant at Arms,
Mr. President, a message from the House.
please receive him.
Repeat it. Gentleman from Shenandoah, Delegate Gilbert.
Delegate Gilbert, welcome.
Right. Mr. President, I've been directed by the Speaker of the House of Delegates to inform the Senate that the House is duly organized and finally ready to proceed with business.
Thank you.
How about that?
He's probably coming back.
And it's just the organized, it's not the notified, right?
Organized and ready. Yeah.
The clerk will please report a communication from the State Board of Elections.
Commonwealth of Virginia, Department of Elections, November 30th, 2017. The Honorable Susan Clark Shar, Clerk of the Senate, State Capitol, Richmond, Virginia, 23219. Dear Mrs. Shar, on behalf of the State Board of Elections, this is to certify that upon examination of the official abstracts of votes on file in this office and pursuant to Sections 24.2-679 and 24.2-680 of the Code of Virginia, it was ascertained and determined that at the general election held on November 7, 2017, the persons listed below were duly elected for terms of 4 years commencing on Saturday, January 13, 2018. Ralph S. Northam, the pediatric neurologist.
All right. Used to be.
Was duly elected Governor of Virginia. Justin E. Fairfax was duly elected Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. Mark R. Herring was duly elected Attorney General of Virginia. Certificates of election have been delivered to the officers-elect. Sincerely, Edgardo Cortez, Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Senator Eben, do you want to take up the...
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the rules be suspended and that Senate Resolution 5 be taken up for immediate consideration.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the rules be suspended and Senate Resolution 5 be taken up for immediate consideration? All in favor of the motion will record their votes. Aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, noes 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. The clerk will please read the title.
Senate Resolution Number 5, celebrating the life of the Honorable Patricia Keyser Smith Tyser.
The senator from Alexandria.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the resolution be agreed to, and speaking briefly to the resolution.
Senator has the floor.
Tomorrow we will have the late Senator Patsy Tyser's family here for a center aisle presentation. I will speak about Senator Tyser and her life tomorrow, and I understand that there'll be an opportunity tomorrow if members would like to speak to the resolution.
Thank you, Senator. All those in favor of agreeing to the memorial resolution will please rise. The resolution is agreed to. Senate will stand at ease.
Mr. President, trying to uncharacteristically perhaps maximize the available time, if I could share with the Senate a couple of observations rather than waiting till the conclusion.
Senator has the floor.
Well, Tara was looking over my shoulder. I was mercifully hoping that someone from the House was, oh, he is coming with something. I will pass for a moment. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. President, a message from the House.
Please receive it.
The gentleman from Shenandoah, Delegate Gilbert.
Welcome, Delegate Gilbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I've been directed by the Speaker of the House of Delegates to inform the Senate that the House has agreed to House Joint Resolution 120, notifying the Governor of Organization and requesting the concurrence of the Senate.
Thank you, Delegate. The desk will receive it.
House Joint Resolution Number 120, notifying the Governor of Organization. Resolved by the House of Delegates, the Senate concurring, that a committee be appointed composed of 6 on the part of the House of Delegates and 5 on the part of the Senate to notify the Governor that the General Assembly is duly organized and is ready to receive any communication he may desire to make.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? All in favor of agreeing to the resolution will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is agreed to. The senator from James City County, Senator Norman, will inform the House of Delegates of the action of the Senate. Pursuant to foregoing resolution, the chair appoints the senator from Bedford, Senator Newman, the senator from James City County, Senator Norman, the senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal, the senior senator from Fairfax, Senator Sasslaw, and the senator from Hampton, Senator Locke, as the committee on the part of the Senate, together with members of the House, to inform the governor that the General Assembly is duly organized and ready to receive any communication he may desire to make. The Senate will be at ease until the committee returns.
That is a little more challenging than those of us who stay organized for a 4-year cycle. And some of their leadership is still learning processes. And I want to assure you there will be conversations with the House of Delegates trying to avoid these unnecessary delays that we have just been through. I commented almost sarcastically to Madam Clerk that it was remarkable how quickly they got the joint resolution down here after I gave them a 10-minute drop-dead notice. But that aside, I just wanted to share some other things with you as we're going forward into the session. The clerk's office has very graciously put on each of your desks a green sheet of paper that has the formal salutations for each senator. Unlike our friends in the House of Delegates, we are not changing the salutations, and it would be very respectful if we would continue to use the salutations that are listed on that sheet, and that is consistent with the tradition, I think, that the Senate has always done. So if you would be so kind to retain that and take a look at it. A second point, starting perhaps this afternoon, if Courts is going to meet, but certainly starting tomorrow, the committee structure will begin in place. I do want to suggest to everyone that we are going to try to be more efficient this year, and that efficiency may create some modest but not irreparable discomfort for some of you. We are going to very actively minimize the number of times that a bill will be continued or carried over for the day before the committees. And when the bills are coming up on committee, if they're on the docket, we are going to do our absolute unequivocal best to dispose of that bill on that day. So I just suggest that to you. I know that some of our members, in an effort to maximize constituent services, like to bring up a series of witnesses on bills. I suggest that when your bill is on the docket, the first time that you be prepared to have your witnesses present because your bill may not be carried over for the day. I would further suggest to you that Senator Hanger and I have been talking about some approaches on the Senate Finance Committee as we move into addressing the biennium budget, which certainly is going to have some fiscal and political challenges in that. We have had some discussions about reorganizing a couple of the subcommittees. That does not mean that anyone who is on a subcommittee will be involuntarily removed. It's just we are once again trying to be more efficient, and that we are going to combine two of the Senate Finance Committee subcommittees, capital outlay and general government and technology will now be rolled into a single subcommittee. And what that will do is that will cut down on some of the meetings. It will cut down on some of the conflicts and challenges that some of the members on Senate Finance have, particularly when other committee meetings are going on. Yes, that will make for a larger subcommittee, but there certainly is ample amount of work between capital outlay and general government and technology to keep everyone active. So I certainly wanted to share that with you. I think probably those are the major adjustments that I foresee at this time. None of them are done with any partisan or otherwise insidious nature. We're just trying to become a little more efficient and move things along, and I anticipate your cooperation in that regard. So, Mr. President, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to pass that on.
The senator from Bedford, Senator Newman. Not yet. Oh, I thought you haven't taken your trip yet.
No, sir. Always pleased to speak to you, sir.
All right. Thank you. I'm sorry. The Senate will stand at ease then. I apologize. I thought you all had come and gone. Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. President, a message from the House.
Please receive it.
The gentleman from Shenandoah, Delegate Gilbert.
Welcome, Delegate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've been directed by the Speaker of the House of Delegates to inform the Senate that the House has agreed to House Joint Resolutions 11 and 12, providing for certain joint assemblies and establishing schedules for the conduct of business, and requests the concurrence of the Senate.
Thank you, Delegate. The desk will receive it. Senator for Bedford, Senator Newman.
Mr. President, the committee appointed to inform the governor of the organization of the General Assembly wishes to report through the report that we have performed our duty assigned to them, and that the governor would be pleased to address a joint assembly of the legislature.
Thank you, Senator. Ready? The clerk will please read the title of HJR 11.
House Joint Resolution Number 11, providing for certain joint assemblies, establishing a schedule for the conduct of business coming before the 2018 regular session of the General Assembly of Virginia, and providing for legislative continuity between the 2018 and 2019 regular sessions of the General Assembly.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Mr. President, I move the rules be suspended, the Committee on Rules be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the reading of the titles be waived, and HJR 11 be taken up for immediate consideration.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the rules be suspended, the Committee on Rules be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and HJR 11 be taken up for immediate consideration? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, noes 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. The senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that the resolution be agreed to, and speaking to that briefly.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, you have in the green sheet the joint procedural resolution that we approve with the beginning of every new session. Most of the dates are similar to ones that you've seen before, but there are a couple things I'd like to draw to the members' attention just to make sure that they are not missed. First, today is the last day to file legislation creating or continuing a study or VRS bills, so your time is running out if you don't have those in. Friday, the 12th, is the all request for budget amendments to the Senate Finance Committee must be in by 5 o'clock. So those must be in by 5 o'clock. We will have a joint assembly tonight. We have a joint assembly on Saturday. And because we have elected a new governor, we will have a joint assembly on Monday the 15th. So each of these days will have additional time commitments. On next Tuesday, the 16th, we will be re-electing judges. This is typically the faster of the two judicial elections, but expect that we will be on the floor Tuesday for significantly longer than most. The next date during the following week, the 19th, is the last day to introduce bills and resolutions. So Friday the 19th by 3 o'clock, and that comes very quickly. Mr. President, the next days that I want to draw to the members' attention are February 13th, which is crossover. So for the Senate, typically the 12th and the 13th are longer days. So as you're planning your schedule, February 12th and 13th are longer days. One change this year versus previous years is all revenue bills except the budget have to be agreed to by crossover, or they expire pursuant to the procedural resolution. Historically, there have been a couple extra days for revenue bills, but this year they all have to be completed by the February 13th. Then on February 22nd, we have to complete the budget on our side, and that day usually takes a little longer, so don't make any quick plans during session on February 22nd. And then February 28th is the day that we act on the budget from the opposing body, so that could take a little longer as well. Finally, two last dates, Mr. President, are the second judicial election will be on March the 1st, which is the Thursday, so plan to be here a little longer that day. And then on March the 8th, which is also a Thursday the following week, all bills have to be in conference pursuant to the procedural resolution, so that day usually takes significantly longer. And as members are looking at their schedules, traditionally that 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th of March, the schedules are not as consistent, so try not to plan to do anything in the early afternoon. We could be on the floor, off the floor, in committee meetings longer each of those days. With that, Mr. President, renew the motion that the resolution pass.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? All in favor of agreeing to the resolution will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll. Ayes 39, no 0. The resolution is agreed to. The clerk will please read the title of HJR 12.
House Joint Resolution Number 12, establishing a schedule for the conduct of business for the pre-filing period of the 2019 regular session of the General Assembly of Virginia.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Mr. President, I move the rules be suspended, the Committee on Rules be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the readings of the title be waived, and HJR 12 be taken up for immediate consideration.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the rules be suspended, the Committee on Rules be discharged from further consideration of the resolution, the reading of the title be waived, and HJR 12 be taken up for immediate consideration? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? All the senators voted. Do any senators desire to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. The senator from Hanover.
Mr. President, I move the resolution be agreed to, and speaking to the resolution briefly.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, members of the Senate, this is the resolution setting the pre-filed dates for next session. They are December 3rd. All bills have to be requested December 3rd, 2018. And just so you can get excited about it and start preparing, our next legislative session will start on January 9th, 2018. I know you're happy to think about that.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? All in favor of agreeing to the resolution will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The resolution is agreed to. The senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal, will please inform the House of Delegates of the action of the Senate. Resolutions, petitions, and bills are now in order. The senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the clerk's office and each of the individual senators, I'd like to ask if you have any first day bills that have not been previously filed with the clerk. And just to remind you, as the senator from Hanover articulated, it's the last day for VRS bills and legislation creating or continuing a study. Does anyone have any of those bills which have not been heretofore filed? Okay.
Thank you, Senator Norman.
On behalf of Senator Hanger and myself, I would just reiterate what the senator from Hanover very gentlemanly reminded you of, that Friday at 5 p.m. is the deadline for budget amendments. And I do not expect that there will be a lot of dispensations after that hour. So I would encourage you to please give some serious consideration to your budget amendments and to get those turned in much sooner than later so that staff can start working on them. We may make a valiant effort to perhaps pick up the tempo just a little bit on our budget deliberations and preparation.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Senator.
sir.
Yes, sir. The senior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had a Commerce and Labor Committee docket meeting this morning, which is a little bit unusual. Normally, we hold those on Friday, but because of what was said earlier, and we are looking at a docket like we've never seen before in terms of the amount of bills on Commerce and Labor, so we want to start clearing those bills early. So you should have gotten a notice, or we'll get a notice here if your bills are up on Monday. That'll should give you plenty of time to round up witnesses, and Monday being a government holiday, also provide the opportunity perhaps for easier travel for your witnesses. So stand by if you get a notice. We will hear those bills on Monday.
Thank you, Senator. The senator from Bedford, Senator Newman.
Mr. President, just rise for the purpose of an announcement. Similar to the senior senator from Virginia Beach, tomorrow morning at 8:30, Education and Health will begin, and it's not going to be just a normal beginning date if it's okay with our committee. We're going to take up 30 bills. If you get notice today that you're going to end up having a bill before us, we really plan to take that bill up, and hopefully you can attend. It won't be a lot of the controversial measures will be taken up tomorrow, but there are a number of bills on the agenda, and we would like to get those heard tomorrow. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator Newman. The senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Mr. President, who woke the gentle lady from Portsmouth up here to call my attention to it? Inquire the clerk, is any further business to come before this deliberative body this evening?
No, sir.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Is there any other business to come before the Senate?
Mr. President.
Yes, the senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenchain.
Mr. President, if I may, just for a quick announcement,
Sure.
Remember there is a Courts of Justice Committee meeting this afternoon. It will probably be about 5 minutes. So if members of the Courts of Justice Committee can come, it is simply to interview one judge who was not there in December for the incumbent judge interviews. So it would be a shame if I'm the only member there. The House members are not attending, so a few reinforcements would be appreciated.
Thank you, Senator. The clerk will please report any announcements on the desk.
Today, Wednesday, January 10th, 2018. The Committee for Courts of Justice will meet immediately upon adjournment in the Senate Committee Room in the Pocahontas Building. Thursday, January 11th, 2018, the Finance Subcommittee on Capital Outlay will meet at 8 a.m. in the Senate Leadership Conference Room, 6th floor of Pocahontas. Senators Norman, Saslaw, Ruff, Wagner, and McDougall. The Hampton Roads Caucus will meet at 8 a.m. in Subcommittee Room 3 on the 5th floor of Pocahontas. The Committee on Education and Health will meet at 8:30 a.m. in the Senate Committee Room in the Pocahontas Building. The Republican Caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 2. The Democratic Caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 1.
The senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just because of the announcement that Madam Clerk was so generous to make about the committee meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m., I did share with you obliquely that the capital outlay and general government and technology subcommittees of finance are going to be combined. And so consequently, that combined committee will consist of Senators Saslaw, Ruff, Wagner, McDougall, Vogel, Hanger, Lucas, Obenchain, and Dance.
Thank you, Senator. You still have the floor, actually, if you'd like it.
To move that we stand in recess until 6:30 to receive His Excellency the Governor.
That will be wonderful. The question is, shall the Senate stand in recess until 6:30 p.m. tonight? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The Senate stand in recess until 6:30 p.m. tonight, at which time it will convene to proceed to the House of Delegates to receive the State of the Commonwealth addressed by the Governor.